I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
So when she sings this song, her voice doesn't match her face. You'll see what I mean when she sings. Her and Pythol used to say very much the same thing.
Then perhaps you know this song.
I suppose she is a bard and should have a phenomenal voice. Nice to see that Alistair and Sten appreciated it. Morrigan, not so much.
Do you remember our discussion?
I did.
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I have found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
We need to talk.
Of course.
Are you feeling better about what happened with Marjolaine?
Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no?
They add to the complexity and beauty of the piece.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past.
She was special to you, wasn't she?
Yes, once, a long time ago. She was a worldly woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once.
She didn't deserve you.
She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years.
Am I anything like her?
You are how she used to be years ago. A joy to be around, a constant companion and a listening ear in times of need.
I'm not Marge then, don't worry.
Yes, I know that. I don't think you would ever do what she did to me. I have never regretted leaving Orlais. I do not regret any of the pain, the anger, the loneliness, because it brought me to you. And I love you. It's so wonderful to say that to someone again. But people are starting to look at me strangely. We will speak of this again, I promise.
That we will, Lele. That we will. Zevran,
Here I am.
care to answer questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What's your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
Zevran, that's horrible.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
And yet you're oddly cheerful about it all.
It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
You can say that again.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
Okay, how do you feel about the Dalish in general?
I don't feel anything about them. Oh, we heard about them in the city, even deep in Antiva. I even had the notion once to run off and join them. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Hey, minor dexterity. Finally starting to get some approval from Zevran. Alistair,
Ask away.
I have questions.
Of course.
Never mind. Nothing to talk to Alistair about. Sten,
You called.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Faster than that.
Very well.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
Nothing.
Then I suggest we move on.
Yes.
As you wish.
Nothing to talk to Sten about. Shale surely has stuff to talk about though.
It speaks.
It does. I have questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You watched that village day and night. For years?
I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Oh, I'm sure it was more interesting than that.
Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Ah, yes, your bird thing.
It is not a thing. It is a perfectly reasonable reaction to being constantly pestered. I was helpless to react. Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
Okay, I deserved that. I deserved that. I just wanted to take the piss. I got a lot of approval from him during the quest of the Dalish, so... Morgan?
I await your command.
Nothing to talk to her about, because we haven't used her in a while. Over this way. Pet the Mabari. Okay, so we've had a chat with everyone. We've done everything we can do, so let's head back to the Dalish camp. And I think I'm going to take the Dream Team with me. Or the new Dream Team. Shale?
Yes.
Morrigan?
Indeed.
Lele?
Indeed.
I accept. And we're going to head to the camp first. Okay, so we need to buy some stuff from Varathon. We've got plenty of money.
I understand the Swamp Witch is out to slay its own mother.
Entirely in self-defense?
So it claims. It could not have been its plan from the very beginning, then.
I knew nothing about my mother's intentions prior to finding the book. 'Twas your notion I arranged that.
Unnecessary, considering it is the only one who can read the book. It could just as well be a journal or a book of recipes.
Would you like me to teach you how to read the book? Then you can see for yourself.
Now it is testing me.
Well, do you care enough to learn or no?
No, I do not care.
Then leave me be.
Yay for new banter. Varathon.
We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield.
I would like to barter with you.
I am no merchant, but I have plenty that you may need.
Okay, so. Bombs, yes. Potions, definitely. Get into my inventory. They're in potions, sure. Injury kit, sure. Shall I buy the Greater Lyrium potions as well? May as well, I've got enough money. Okay, anything else? I'll buy the recipe. And that one as well. I'll buy the shards. The corrupt reagent. Life stones. I'll buy a couple of toxin extracts as well, just to get the quest done. It's a quest that requires me to find X amount of toxin extract. And then, if we go into poisons, or poison making, awesome. And now we've at least got some bombs, even if it's like 27 Solrot ones. So I'm going to go back to the camp very quickly and just get myself some more flasks and corrupt reagent, and then we will head to Denerim. So I'll see you then. Next stop, Denerim. Ambush? No, no ambush. Awesome. There we go, finally loaded. So, let's have a little look around, shall we?
Magic exists to serve
Okay, nothing on the Enchanter's board. Quest to hand in here, though.
The Mages Collective thanks you. Make us smile upon you.
Nice. I think I have something for the Blackstone regulars. I'm not certain on that, though. I don't think I have anything for the crows. This guy does.
What can I get you, stranger?
I finished a favour for one of your interested parties.
What can I get you, stranger?
Need anyone to help? Okay, cool. Nothing in here?
Maker's blessings upon you, Warden.
Nope.
The Swamp Witch has a great deal in common with my former master.
The Swamp Witch. How original.
The Swamp Witch has the same arrogance, the same air of cruelty. I would hate for it to have possession of my control rod, if it still worked, of course.
Let me tell you what you can do with your control rod, Gollum.
Is it telling me that if the rod did work, that it wouldn't want control over me?
I wouldn't go so far as that. I could, for instance, command you to go and jump in a lake. A very deep lake.
It fools no one. The Swamp Witch would control everything if it could. It would have us all dancing on its strings.
Oh, you know me too well, Gollum. Your revealing gaze has laid me bare.
I will be watching the Swamp Witch. It must not be trusted.
Now you're beginning to sound just like Alistair.
And normality has been restored.
Find everything you need?
Payment was sufficient.
Payment? Oh, just make sure you drop by from time to time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Nothing in there. Cool. Oh wow, there's a thug. Alright. Okay, so if you choose to fight the master, thugs come after you as well. Right, so what have we actually got left in our quests? Okay, so 10 pieces of garnet. Okay. Need to look for that then. Ah, this is the quest. So there's Skinny Frank at Canonhead, Camp Redside in Denerim, and Brian just outside Orzammar. Still got quite a bit to do, but I think most of it's just finishing things off.